Feminists, time and time again, use victimization and narcissism to try and push their political agendas. Recently, a girl on TikTok said that she was so sorry she wasn't Putin's mother and that if she was his mother, he would have been loved. Cringe. Anyway, feminists took to social media to say this is the reason why men should not be in power. Other feminists also took to social media to whine and complain that they were super worried about being drafted, even though they claim they want to be equal. Meanwhile, the Defense Authorization Bill currently being considered by Congress actually dropped a provision that would require women to be drafted. The Supreme Court also refused a case to include women in the military draft. The $777.9 billion National Defense Authorization Act of 2022 that initially included a provision to modernize the selective service system by requiring women ages 18 to 25 to sign up for the draft. The bill said it wanted to do this to support the mobilization needs of the Department of Defense by including women in the all-volunteer model is no longer able to recruit enough people in a time of a national crisis. Despite its initial inclusion, leaders of the House and Senate Armed Services Committee removed the provision from the bill's final version, which is what Politico reported. The provision was reportedly removed as a compromise to satisfy Senate Republicans who otherwise opposed the bill's reforms of the military systems. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley stated, "It's wrong to face our daughters, mothers, wives, and sisters to fight our wars. Women have played a vital role in defending America at every point in our nation's history. But volunteering for military service is not the same as being forced into it, and no woman should have to be compelled to do so." End quote. 5 other senators voted against this, including Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, Roger Wicker, Cindy Hyde-Smith, and Roger Marshall also agreed with Hawley and voted in opposition to women being drafted. There has also been an ongoing debate for many years on if women should be in the draft or not. I wanted to also pause this video real quick and thank our supporters at Patreon. Our Patreon is patreon.com/redlibertymedia. First off, the argument is that females can work in jobs that were once only designated for males, especially when it comes to the 21st century. For the longest time as well, girls could not fight in the front lines. The reasons for this were that men would sacrifice themselves on the battlefield to protect women. The other reason were because many people believed that women were not as smart or capable physically as their male counterparts. Another argument is that it erases traditional viewpoints that should be smashed in society, which I completely disagree with. Combat is also both mentally and physically draining. Men who meet the military's strength requirements are still susceptible to extreme physical injuries as well as mental illness in the form of PTSD. This is not to say that women aren't necessarily strong or that they have no place in the military. I don't personally respectfully think that women should serve in combat, but women have served a tremendous role in military service through medical and intelligence fields. Additionally, during World War II, it was the women at home who went to work in factories to produce the essential supplies to keep America in the fight. But contrary to what feminists say, gender roles are definitely not a bad thing. This is not to say that women aren't necessarily strong or that they have no place in the military. I don't personally respectfully think that women should serve in combat, but women have served a tremendous role in military service through the medical and intelligence fields. Additionally, during World War II, it was the women at home who went to work in factories to produce the essential supplies to keep America in the fight. But contrary to what feminists say, gender roles are not a bad thing. And as discussed in another video, men and women have many differences biologically. Men can't have babies. God created women to have that natural female function. Women did come from the man's rib, but men and women were both made in the image of God, as lined out in the book of Genesis. And ever since ancient times, society considered women to be the providers for their family. They were the ones who shopped for the food, cooked the food, cleaned the house, stayed at home, and cared for the children. The men went to work, brought home the money to feed the family, and in cases where their nations were threatened, men would then go off to war. But why is this a bad thing? Men and women are different. and it's literally noted in the Bible. To end this video, I wanted to give advice to young women. It's important to understand that when we discuss equality between men and women, it is okay to discuss and talk more about the differences between them. This isn't offensive, and gender roles are not a social construct, and it's not something that people should be offended by. As discussed before in another video, feminism is making women unhappy and more masculine. Feminism today also frowns upon femininity and modesty. While they stress the importance of equality, they don't want to address gender roles because they want men and women to literally be the same. But to young girls, it's not bad to address these differences because we are different, and that is okay. It's okay to be feminine and modest today in society. But anyway, that's all for me. Make sure that you subscribe to Red Liberty Media's YouTube channel, and also check the description box down below for more information. Thank you all again so much for supporting this show and supporting me. I really appreciate it, and all your kind messages. And that's all for me. From New Mexico, God bless, and take care.